we can change the title because ours is the only stream that the name of the games. It just says Frankfurt Major Twitch thing. Yeah. Do you know? Okay. Yeah. No, I wondered that. Yeah, if we actually got the main account or if it's something that just set up. Yeah. It was. Unless I was wrong now, but I'm pretty checked earlier.
Vega Squadron.
Dota 2 Major 2. It just says that all the time. Whereas everyone, all the other streams actually say what game is being played. So, but oh well.
10 seconds remaining. Vici Gaming's turn to ban.
Okay.
Turn to pick.
You gonna do the intro and everything?
Vici Gaming's
Can do.
turn to pick.
Let's just put a tweet out. Oh, you've already done it. Oh, yeah. I'll do one as well.
I didn't.
I'll put the link in mine. Yeah. Follow it up. So that. What game? Vega versus Vici Gaming.
Ten seconds remaining.
Right.
5 seconds remaining.
Alright, we can go. Do you want to go? Do it!
Alright.
Vici Gaming's
So I can
turn
pick.
to pick.
You're right. What? Oh, you're waiting for the second pick?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the
so
second
what are you
pick.
doing? It's like, you can go out for a shit. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Major 2 stream. This is V-Gaming versus Vega Squadron. It is the winners section of this group, of course, the second best of 3 for both these teams. They both had a pretty good time, both coming through, I believe, with 2... No, it was 2-1 for Vega, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. OG,
Yes.
I lost that against Merlini. Yeah, we had. It's okay though.
Yep.
It's okay because he lost the newbie versus VP bet.
Okay.
So
He went with newbie on that
he
one.
went with
Oh, that
newbie.
was
I went
bold.
with VP.
Oh,
It's okay. I mean, game 3, and I think we
Yes.
both agreed that the matches should be fairly close.
Yeah.
For me, I'm actually a bit concerned here for Vici.
I am as well from Vega's performance just now. I mean, you know what I mean. This is you're talking about close games. I think this is the to go again to a third game this series.
And Vici's performance against Known, it seemed like aggression was actually a weak gaming.
That's true.
Yeah, Unknown like coming at you like that. I feel like gaming are acceptable early aggression, which is what Vega Squadron's best.
Exactly. I mean, this is one of your classic CIS sides. They're going to find the early footing. They're going to run at you, and they're not going to stop. If they find something that works in the first 10-15 minutes of the game, they're going to continue with that. They're going to shut you down with the minute mark, which is, as you said, gaming's potential weakness. But nonetheless, obviously, over kind of the previous lands and such, Vici Gaming have had the overall stronger, more consistent performance that Vega might have a tough time going against. But Vega seem to be ready to go. Obviously, I believe Show Me the Slayer only turned up a couple of days ago because of the visa issues, but it's obviously good to see that the team, that's not affected them. They're able to play perfectly with their first series, and we'll see if they're able to step it up again here in the second. But after, of course, one of the way, a couple of picks coming out from both sides. You got Tusk, the Dazzle, the Darkseid, the Ember, coming out respectively for Vici and Vega, and the bans as well. Nothing too unorthodox or surprising. Maybe the Jugs, not something that we see banned out every time, but potentially something that Vega obviously scared off going against Vici.
Yeah, I think the Juggernaut is going to be one of the more valued cores, especially against the Chinese scene. The Chinese really like to pick up in like the 4th or 5th position. It works well with push lineups. It has a certain amount of synergy with a lot of these heals. And if you look at Vega Squadron's lineup, they do have kind of damage over time between the Ember Spear and the Darkseer. This is going to be a lawnmower combination where you have the Ion Shell and the Flame Guard. Stopping Vici Gaming being able up any sort of like 5-man push pretty important.
Absolutely, because I think one thing that you can definitely on the side of Vici, they're very good at the team play. But then again, the same could be said for Vega. These are both teams that always consistently show very strong synergy between the players. That's why this one's going to be really fun to watch, because there's no saying really who's going to come out on top of that earlier stage. And as you said, Vega, they're going to really be looking for it. Vici Gaming potentially a little bit more comfortable taking it later. But already with the picks, as you were touching on, the fact that they have got these two very strong heroes that do scale pretty nicely into the late game for the side of Vega, they're showing us that they're ready for any stage of the game that Vici try and take this.
I'm looking at this and going, the fact, like, I would almost expect the to be reversed in a way, that Vici Gaming, or sorry, that Vega Squadron try and pick like Tusk, Dazzle, Gyrocopter. Obviously, the Tusk is being highly valued throughout the regions, like Europe. Facing the Chinese put a lot of value in Tusk and Night Stalker, and I would not be surprised if they win for that here. It is a strong silence against the Ember Spirit, and that is obviously incredibly valued. Ember Spirit, Queen of Pain, I think that just gives extra bit of emphasis to a Night Stalker.
I mean, that is, in fact, one thing I'm looking at the draft now for Vici saying, oh, what are you going to do about this Ember Spirit? Because at the moment, he's going to be remnanting all over the place, and there's not a lot that Vici Gaming are going to be able to do with those three heroes to stop. So we'll see how they deal with that with the final two. Vega Squadron now with their third pick. We've already got a bit of wombo combo going on potentially. Obviously, Ember Spirit will be getting that Battle Fury online eventually with the wall combo. And oh, there we go. You mentioned it for Vici and Vega, maybe taking it away from the side, as you were saying.
That was a pickup for Vici. Wanted to get that early pressure. Plus, as a 4 position, I think that it does give you some openings against some of these heroes on Vici. Tusk and Dazzled in particular. Gyrocopter can be rather susceptible to when Night Stalker starts off well, but it's also a powerful dual lane. If you can't have Darkseer, I mean, technically they could have had Darkseer Spirit Breaker and run a dual lane like that, you know, which is a lot of pressure on the top. But Night Stalker does have
5 seconds remaining.
And I think, as you said, this is going to be very nice. The fact that Vici can get it. They, of course, go for their Alchemist. I mean,
Reserve time.
seen them running it a few times today, but the out, for your opinion, still ever much one of the heroes that if you can, and if you feel this is for it, you just go for it because it's really strong the later it gets.
Vici
Winter Wyvern, good hero and guards and will be harassing hero go to the mid lane against Alchemist. So it's very possible we're just going to be seeing Spirit Winter Wyvern as Night Stalker. Like self-sustain for the remaining. Because it's most likely against
reserve time.
You'd imagine so.
Yeah, I mean, they could check up and give something a little bit greedier than Tusk. Yeah, they could certainly potential to switch if they want to try and react to what Vega's going to. I mean, Vici game last band out, so those heroes that pretty much fit with the play style that Vega are going to look for. I was going to say, if playing Tusk, Ice is really good on.
Yeah.
Disrupt #1, so pick up. And Squadron one away because it's a strong hero against Darkseer. It's actually one of the new supports that can counter Darkseer because him for to Bane. Also, it's quite strong against Liberation. Potential for the Glimpse catch. Obviously, to the game when Ember has Remnant way across the map. Unlikely to play, but an early to you have the small Remnant jump. It's very often Darkseer can catch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reserve time.
Heroes like the Dazzle, Weave getting the vision side so you can check down, catch them out. Also, you look at Vega Squadron's lineup. I mean, even if he's Remnant aggressive, heroes that are going to be there, Clucks of the, and you can catch a nice kinetic static storm. I've got no doubts that we'll be looking at the hero if it were to them, but the now it's not there. Who else are they?
Why? Sure. If they run it support, this is something that Vici Gaming have had special and very good holding mechanism against Ember Spirit.
It is. Now you mentioned the list. What about the Rubik? I mean, why God? You know what I mean? I will not be upset if a Rubik come out of the game. I mean, the game for sure.
I think they're pretty good skills.
It's the I mean, Skyra. Right. I mean, it's a hero. The lockdown, you need the Ember Spirit. If this game goes, that Ember's going to be a couple of cleaves. I locked down a lot of lane. Are you like Skyra?
I think it's also a very hero potential. Run Earth Mage time. You maybe have the Winter Wyvern on that middle lane, pressure on the Alchemist. Need to rotate there. Gareth made bar one of the
10
mid
seconds
you can
remaining.
possibly have, because he doesn't draw out when he those are painful.
5 seconds
And
remaining.
I say like the F Wind Ranger, questionable and would actually
Reserve time.
for Shaq is
Yeah.
obviously mage.
Con-
Silence is more reliable.
Yeah, indeed, a very, very honest. And of course, that kind of the classic winter one counter. Someone gets braced, you just flare down
Yeah.
on their head, suddenly not too happy.
Hey, congrats on your physical damage. What
It's-
about Magic Nuke?
Pretty hefty at that as well. I think this really is it's a game that's so tense at early stages because it gets a leg up. They're just, I'm just looking at us like the Knights.
Oh
Just gonna run for the scar, a couple of slaps.
If the knight actually gets a start, he will tear through the like tissue paper. Take out the stage first. Go and cancel very early. And if he gets Starcopter pretty too, but no one Shadow. Not a terrorizing hero for him.
No, one that we've seen time again give us performances. There's a little bit of a with the win, with the and such, with the Requiem. But that is, you look over the game and he's got to be aware of stuff like Dusk Punch, the interrupt the shot. Things that he's going to play around though. With for Vega are very prioritizing SF, getting those. He's on the Radiance, going to have that advantage as well. Then getting maximum amount of this hero. So very nicely and nice for them that to sneak it through. That's the final pick. Vici versus, I think the line tonight,
10
this
seconds
game is
remaining.
expected to be very much impactful, making those heroes
5
count.
seconds
I don't think we're
remaining.
anything less than to this one. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Vega Vici is game, and well, as let's give it a hand cap if you want, and let us know
Prepare for
on the
battle.
side. I want to pick a side.
The Vega squad because I feel like they're like sons. My sons. Yeah, I mean, I know
They've
you've got
come far.
right.
Yeah, I've been.
You've casted a where Vega grew up. They win challenges and stuff like and here in the big Siomas on the Wyvern is going to be playing Night Stalker, greedy 4 player. I love on these kind of no on the mid signature for him through only one SFs in Europe. You've got Max here and
Was on the Vici talking about your heroes. We got once again on this that we've seen a lot, but we're on the Dazzle. There's size on the Tusk. I mean, maybe a little less. Definitely one of his more played support thing on his jar. I mean, there's a hero combination. Vici, very happy. I mean, likewise, Vegas. But both teams, no team's going to feel kind of outdrawn over here. I think they feel fairly confident in the heroes they got left.
if I had at basis draft choose a
What would you?
it would probably go for Squadron
Really?
the Night Stalker.
Okay.
I feel Night Stalker is Jacob and I talked about it on the earlier. Not going to be the most valued hero in this tournament. The Chinese, even more than the Indians do, they put a lot of value in nations like Night Stalker, Night Disruptor, and the discussion is. And I think he does a lot of heroes he can take advantage of stage and still being foremost. But he also has setup for a game because that they're most like something Dark Night Stalker and pressure and allow us to be able to get an early, or at least be a lot of it early. He is to the level threatening those quite easy solo hero, even threatening.
I've got to be. I kind of feel the lineup here, in my opinion, going to be able to, since I can see finding that, getting map, taking maybe tier 1 to the tier 2 in terms of kind of defense high ground. You just kind of post the aim and just holding because their lineup, the potential late as well, and maybe it around. I don't know. I think we definitely see Vega. As it goes, I still do favor Vici.
I'm a little bit sad because of the way these two teams against each other. I think the game will be very late, and if it does go late, it'll be more cheap.
Yeah.
Not sure we're gonna see this game. We're gonna see Ags. Way.
Okay. You just don't
That
get
is
to that
sad.
point. Yeah.
I have it's Ag heroes in the
Like the Tusk.
while reading of slash think awful.
I think I've ever been in a at least where it's have you ever a game where it's been picked? Has it ever got to that point?
I don't think I've, but I think I've the game.
Hey, hang on. What about Cap? Star match. So that I
Right.
forget.
That's
Both
right.
cards. There was a touch. But that game.
I think Ice Ice actually was the one who put an Aghanim in one of it. I think that was watching.
Dawn Tusk. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Skyrim Ags. I mean, you drop it where
Gets himself up in a bit of mad maybe.
Ags. I think rated.
It adds such amount of armor, is it, Matt? It's 50 armor. If, the
Yeah, it's
Goes
something
on,
insane. It also makes it more powerful immediacy fight. I think that the weave, which is as you scale up, having it increase that gave away per.
rather than the yeah.
Yeah, that actually makes more sense. Times are you able to manage level 3 when it was seeing duration, right?
Teams are like, get out of here.
Yeah,
Losing armor for 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Like fight into that. And it's most likely if you fight weave going, it's over by this increase. Then obviously Mags making it powerful going up 0.75 means that immediate response is much more powerful.
It would be. But and I not talked about the acronyms. Well, that we never see.
And since even worse.
How much is
than the walrus
it 55 damage effectively to count this? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not fantastic, but
Not sure how much double action.
you want to deal with Ember. You remnant the soft. You've got the. It's like where it's at now, but.
What is super speed though? I swear I'm gonna back up. This is gonna be off the wall. You'll hear me talk about, but Ags Luna. It's legit. I swear it is.
That's not bad. That's not. It's not.
Insane amount of damage.
Luna on the hand. Oh, not the best. Right? Sweet. I'd be surprised if we saw Luna a few times.
My team me. I had a Luna. I was like winning the game or clockwork thing. Like my Luna was like dog crap poor. I don't know what to do. It's like that ogre to go. Don't go beat. Go Aghanim.
Okay.
You even talk? No, that
You would have gone.
do it.
Mate.
Like you're at this game right. Do what I Aghanim game. Swear to God, it's amazing. Because the loot is that far behind. What are you really good at combat items? You are supposed to operate BKB and still be eliminated by a loot. It doesn't really mean much, but you put an actor on your shot.
Doesn't know. They're like,
Like, what?
they probably patch notes. What the hell's this? Please.
Is there an Luna? A clockwork hybrid?
No.
But yeah. Yes.
Oh. Hey, come on. This on the map. It's flaming up.
What?
Darks it. No, it does a lot of dark.
What did they say?
Well, I say Cap. It's my job. They basically say SL and use the rude word X's. Oh, here we go.
Mag.
Mag.
Dote.
Hello. Dollars.
Mag dollars?
Who's writing this? Is it Mag? It's Mag, isn't it? So yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mag.
Oh.
Come on, Mag. Tier 1 tournament.
Weapons showcase on the dark. I hope it is for.
No.
He's just. No, he's just
so
like
fun.
last time. Oh, whatever. I'm here for a while. Let's just look, guys.
I do. You know what? I've got this. I'll be in chat. The assert. So, yeah, looks like they're default at the moment. Got some.
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. What is it? The
Hello.
Twitch login?
I'm doing in-game. That. Anyways. Guys, we're just changing the title. I know sometimes that trick some of the people. And love these few heroes. Dota 2 game. As you can see right now, of mag creating soft yellow clouds. Don't rain yellow.
Well, we're get this show road fairly.
Shout out to you who on the channel.
This is channel
Listening
to quite easily. I mean, the other time. What is it?
Versus
Those two. I did 5 for 9.
RT G SL.
I mean, here versus these are these I care about. This is when, and I'm not gonna lie, if you want to be hit, you watch this. Everyone's, you know,
Yeah, but if you want a real insider,
you'll get
that's
in Vega.
cute.
You know, I'm actually a hardcore player of the scene. So
Vega Squadron, probably never heard
yeah.
of.
Exactly.
Who is your top 4 prediction?
Top 4.
Yes.
I think we've go with Vici, OG. I'm seeing it around. Start, but I think intentional. The strats. They're gonna
Strats. I do think they'll make a very strong.
They
I
had
have each top 2. For me, see, I've got G, no particular EG, EE home, secret. I think 4th place, 3rd. Then I don't know. I had a question mark. I was like, G. Then I'm talking about it. And just like no, because of a very specific plan, and they have very specific strategy. Them, the same reason that I secret is high, is because they seen much. Many of these.
You feel that you have to read them.
Everyone has more information than they do it.
It's true. It's the team that will be doing the most. Everyone's going about secret and so like.
You know, secret are likely putting some sort of scenario and try and give a favorable. Yeah, some highlight playing a very disruptive port hero. It's, you know, playing Bane or
What about Alliance
Bounty
Cap?
Hunter.
Not talked about. I mean, where do you place them?
Alliance is for me.
Top end.
I had them.
Okay.
So I started with Alliance beat recently. I said, oh, and I got ever lived to me. Yes, there were a lot. Cheap, yeah, okay.
Nah,
okay.
I'm
And
surprised.
then what happened?
Okay.
They went on to beat OG,
Yep.
then Empire. And
Destroy
they
that was a great game. Remember that was
actually teams. I have this topic before this tournament. I think that actually one of the look at that establishes they do well enough. They do establish like a place strategy. They can actually play more eventually, and they those teams establishes for this tournament. I think there are a lot of different things that Alliance can do in this card that most teams not, because they have signature. In particular, I've effectively thought of potential strategy Alliance can run.
okay. If you're listening, there we go.
I'm not talking about it now. I'll say for the good stuff in. Good stuff in right.
For the mainstream, for this stream,
stream. The people who are listening already know.
They already know.
Yeah, they exactly. But the thing is, Alliance, the two best pressure on the team when it comes to is best prove that you can and have strong signature that the enemy has to worry about. Alliance, I don't know if they going to and establish counter and potentially happen because what right? I've proven that you counter Doom similar to what G proved at TI5. You are set up where is that supposed to either take a pick expecting and they go, oh, we're gonna get countered, but we have to take it because it's so short, or leave it out in the pool and then ultimately the one saying, okay, now see if and you counter incredibly
in your eyes, stop putting Alliance high danger. Do you feel even though it's pretty good, a pretty good matches they've been involved? It's just been a small as the other team over months, maybe is consistently their top best in the world.
Yeah, it's for this time for the same reason that I would place like Fnatic. I think you together go into feature Fnatic higher than I would here just because they need time to work. Kind of, but or also that be looking at right.
Okay.
That when you're pushing, okay, as the top going into your Vici teams eliminate each other, and they're not necessarily putting deal with a lot. Won't risk that. We'll see.
Indeed. Let's get Polish. I don't know if we've had any on. No. We had some, I think Eyesight Seed and Reconnect. That's some progress.
Something happened.
Still waiting. Got his stuff out. The game and yeah, stuff like this happens. Gotta take him. Move. Once over. Low feet. No. But the fact long pause. A few minutes. But we'll see. Cap. So are you getting a break? Or are you
no.
Back of the panel?
I believe I'm panel.
Dang.
Series with.
I was busy. You're everywhere. You already had to run over it. You didn't even get a break.
Very.
Being
you guys here, it's not fun. It's probably just
yourself to see this game. You may have yourself when and you may have just because you're hungry. Kind of you like you both go.
You may hear fanboying over one team or the other. It's
But-
not going to specific to either. Going to be the winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Team and
Do it for my. Let's not F he's back in. Maybe. Just maybe we make this game. Looks like it's been said in. Yeah, still. Alright. Anything? Yeah.
most of the people are sitting here trying to watch the game are also.
I'm sure, but
They have the.
so do I. So I watch the other game. Guys, let's have a look. Is the other game good? Give an update.
Oh, apparently.
Cast the other.
As well.
Let's game weapon.
Let's be real. We'll do a better cap for that
Look
game.
at this.
Cool people.
Picnic mode.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I
Right.
saw that.
Missing anything. Nice. Our production is better. We haven't had any flaws on it this morning. No stream, nothing. Can't help but every now and then.
All from Reddit, some of Oz chat. Apparently, they're what fun.
Happened in the VP version.
Well,
So- yeah.
And all.
Okay.
Peter, we can't in English. You a Russian, so you can flame our in Russian.
Oh.
Peter responded with why him.
Ah. That's really nice. I bet. Yeah. That's
A little-
sign
a
of a
little-
good in there.
Bit of
Yeah.
sugar sweet to go with salts.
Apologies. Just having stuff sorted at the moment. There we go. By the way, production, to point out, we've got weapons once again. Been in series, the second one here. So we got and cap on.
All right, guys, we're gonna
What's
be
up?
taking a very short,
It's not going to be cap.
as in a
Yeah.
I'm down for a second, back up almost immediately.
I don't even
Try
have
not
to
to
get
have
in.
too much.
Have a picnic. Yeah.
We will
How?
probably back with the
Or screen or
no, like the actual
K screen.
between games.
What?
Unless I'm guessing we Bowen.
Is there a interesting reason that you can... Oh, it's
Literally
not. Come
running out
in.
of steam.
You guys. It.
Yeah, they just told me
She's
to,
not
to
sound-
restart the stream. Restart the.
Oh, that's a quick way of saying.
Yeah.
So, cut the stream then, Kat. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. When we do come, you won't want to miss anything. So what's going on, Kat? Yeah, like again, audio, Vici. But I think it's like weird how professional it shows. It's like two most of mass, but then it's has to turn off. Oh, I mean like the actual light. Yeah, yeah. And then I just because it gets some focus. It's like weird. Yeah. If they can act. I think it's there, but the fears before it's just way you something just so you guys doing two men or what's the sitting next strip sitting and they ask really nice actually. It's okay because he obviously takes effort. Yes, does he not does he bother him for the whole like when they're no yeah Got him can be like shakes. Yeah. Nice. Idea though, it's nice.
Alright. I asked Tom to bring us food.
He's gonna bring you food.
I think so. So you're trying. Oh! Are we back?
Oh,
Are we good?
Shit. Where are we good? Oh, if we can get our game back on before stream 1. The dream. Everyone will come to us. Ready? Ready? They're saying we're going. Cap, go live, go, Cap, get it on. Cap,
As you guys can hear,
yes, the game's begun.
Owen is very excited that we're starting this game.
And let everyone know that what's going on the mainstream, Cap? Oh, they haven't got any Dota. Oh,
that's too bad.
That's cute, isn't it? I mean, we've got the actual action going on here. Vici Gaming versus Vega Squadron has now kicked off. Once again, apologies for the pauses, but it was only a short pause. I think it was only like a couple of minutes. This is game 1 of the best of 3. And, well, me and Cap have already taught the drafts, the lineups to death, so we've just got to wait for a little bit of action. And I guess at that point we can start to see what kind of lanes are coming out. But I don't think there's anything too surprising coming out from either side, Cap.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm interested to see how Solo plays this early game. I'm presuming he's going to be going top with the Darkseer to start with. The Winter Wyvern, of course, doing the typical Winter Wyvern things, which is going to be using Arctic Burn to harass the middle lane, but probably won't be there for too long. Vici, they could actually... Again, run some sort of dual lane, like if the Skyreth Mage went bottom with the Tusk to put early pressure on the Ember Spirit, would actually be a great way to help stop the Winter Wyvern in mid, or alternatively, they can try and counter the Winter Wyvern in the middle lane by putting their own FY support there as well.
Yeah, that's true, yeah, trying to make the Wyvern play around the aggression of Vici, yeah, should be something that we may see come out. But at the moment, yeah, so no one is obviously going to be able to face up against that mid lane combination of Super and FY on the Skyreth.
God, I love Ice. Seriously, Ice, I was actually looking in depth, like play by play, what some of the things that Ice does in the offlane. I think he's incredibly innovative in some of the things he does, and this isn't like hugely innovating or anything. He's just cutting the creep wave, but he's willing to make these kind of moves in order to win his lane. He thinks outside of the box a lot of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be something that we're going to see. Pasha trying to play his best around, but not ideal here for the man. And Ice is certainly going to give Pasha a run for his money in terms of getting the last hits top lane. What we got at the moment? Well, Fenrir being chased down here by Solo Mag. Oh, it's the double shell, and you never really want to be playing around with 2 purple balls that spiky. And Fenrir, he's going to have to get the Shallow Grave out. He's going to be fine for the time being. Solo's not going to dive, but Burning is there, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, Solo, he's actually going to find FY here. He can stay on him. The Ion Shell is going to last a little while longer.
Oh, FY, yeah, I mean, this is the kind of aggression that we expect from Mag and Solo. This is the duo. This is the classic CIS duo that Vega, they're very lucky to have, because it just punishes the safe laner extremely hard when they're running it as a dual lane off lane. Yeah,
and forcing Fenrir into a level 1 Shallow Grave is not a great position, especially if they're going to be running a full defensive tri lane and do not have any pull opportunities. It means the supports are going to take a long time to get to level 2.
Absolutely, aggression everywhere. Mid lane, how's the CS looking? Well, at the moment, SF 9 for 2, 9 for 0. Not bad for the man, considering the fact that, well, Sky was there earlier. Obviously, we saw FY head up to the top lane. And I guess this middle lane is the fact that you've got to deal with this, the consistent acid spray spam, and it's not fun. I mean, no one just trying to kind of position himself outside of it, but the punches, they're kind of hurting, and no one's got to be careful. FY's coming back in. Now, I think this could potentially be first blooded, Cap, because no one...
Got that last hit as he was going
and a regen rune.
That's insane. The fact that he was able to get first blood, first bounty rune, regen rune on top of all of this, Super is just in one small, very small maneuver, one small decision by no one to run up into that river, ends up giving Super everything he needed.
Oh, I like they're going to go for a bit of the reverse aggro here. They go straight in with the Arctic Burst, and the Splinter Blast connected as well as Super. He's super dead here. One more slap to the back, and no one will find that. So they do get themselves a quick return kill on the out. Same time, top lane trying to move it on to Mag, but he has got the Surge, gets himself back as well. So 1-1 on the board. Both of the mids dying, so but Vici obviously with the first blood.
I think there's another big advantage is the fact that Ice is getting a 1 versus 1 matchup.
Yeah.
And he is getting a decent amount of farm, which you know Ice is going to be able to make good use of. Meanwhile, alternatively, I feel like the Night Stalker, because he was forced out of lane earlier, will not have a very credible first nighttime. But we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when that comes around, what level are we seeing at the moment of the Night Stalker? Actually, just level 2 at the moment, yeah. So.
Yeah, it was that attempted kill on Fenrir and then the harassment on FY that he got so low he had to go all the way back to base from there, which ended up losing him a lot of time in lane. Of course, it's good for Mag, a lot of levels, because of that solo experience for him.
Oh, moving in on Super again. These slows beautiful from the Splinter Blast and the Arctic Bird as well. They try and chase him, but no one's actually being forced back here by the aggression of FY. Second Splinter Blast from Shoma the Slayer. He turns around and he'll take down Skywrath. So FY does manage to fend no one off, stopping him from getting the kill on Super, but it does cost him his life as Shoma comes up with the cleanup.
I completely forgot that the siege creep was no longer magic immune. So the fact
so
he was able to
off it.
Yeah, he throws the Splinter Blast onto the siege creep and ends up getting the kill because of that.
6.85.
Brilliant play, and I also think there's also a chance that FY maybe forgot about that too.
Now he's gonna let his last knock down.
No way.
So like, I mean, what level is he at the moment? He's level 3, I'd imagine, on this Night Stalker. No, still just 2, so it's only the level 1 Void. But he can try and move in with no one as well. There we go, wraps around, and he's going to go in for the slaps here. Super takes the Void to the face, and now no one's trying to close the gap. He's moving in. He's got to line up the razors, and he will. Solo will be able to find the vision, and no one gets that one bang on. So a nice kill there for the man. Ice actually coming in with a hate rune, and this is a level 5 Tusk against your level 2. Yeah, not a chance in hell here for the Night Stalker, and Ice just gives him the rundown. And should be able to find it. Solo looking for the jukes. Is he going to be able to find it? No. No. Shards will finish off the job, and they do find themselves the kill. But nonetheless, they do once again losing Super on that Alchemist in the mid lane. He needs to be finding his farm, and he's not going to be finding it when he's dead, Cap.
Yeah, that was a huge kill for the Night Stalker to be a part of. Unfortunately, still not yet level 3, but trading away the level 2 Night Stalker in exchange for the level 5 mid Alchemist. Great play from Vega Squadron. And they're already showing some of that early aggression they were talking about. I mean, Sioma repeatedly visiting this middle lane to put pressure on the Alchemist, the rotations of the Night Stalker.
Oh, bottom lane. FY turns up, but he didn't want to. Vega just missed a pass. He went in with the Remnant spam and was enough to nuke down some of the squishiest guy. You know, once you haven't got that Ancient Seal available, if it's already been used, Ember's just going to jump on you and you're going to melt.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be necessarily a terrible idea if they could have the Skywrath Mage in the bottom lane. It looks like dive mid. Yeah,
they'll set it up with the Void Slide, trying to get in as well with the rest, but the TP reactions are there. They haven't quite got enough damage to deal with Super's regen. Now with a very aggressive snowball straight across the 3, the punch, killing no one. They might even find more as well. They've dropped down the acid spray. Joma will sit there and heal up for the time being in the cold embrace, but they should be able to just bring him down with the right clicks, and they certainly will. A second kill for the side of Vici Gaming in the mid lane. Only Solo surviving. And we are seeing VG deal very nicely with the aggression that we expected from Vega.
Yeah, I think this couples with exactly what I was about to say, is that Ice, once he picks up his level 6, can rotate around the map, and that can leave that bottom lane open for FY, who obviously his level 6 can be very critical, especially in conjunction with the Tusk.
Look at this Ancient Seal. Is it going to last long enough for the kill? It looks like it will. Oh, he hasn't got any remnants out because he used them earlier. They've only just now come off cooldown, but here's Joma turning up with the cold embrace. He's going to save patch for the time being, and he's just going to use the remnant to go in. He wants the kill. He's going to get it. Takes down Ice there on the Tusk. Now we'll see if there's a turnaround. Femra's coming on the Dazzle, but Pasha and Shoma, they're going to be fine. And again, we're just seeing the team play from both times. This time the Wyvern turning up and saving the backside of Pasha.
Yeah, really well done. The cold embrace chose coming in at the perfect time, and Sioma is actually... He's already level 5.
He's been involved in a lot. He's been playing really well. He's been towards the mid. He's been all over the map wherever he's been needed. Some really nice Winter Wyvern performance from the man. And well, in the jungle, Mag.
Oh, Mag. Are you going to take some of this, you cheeky bastard?
Look at this. Yeah, I'll have that and I'll have that, he says. And Super's like, hang on. Is this Reborn? I'm not getting the money. I'm not getting the money, guys. What's going on? Oh, hang on. I'm losing life. What's happening? Yeah, okay. Super's been... That was... Well, Mag is going to be very happy with that bit of play.
Just imagine if he got level 6 off of that and then throws down the wall and potentially kills the Alchemist.
That would have been so PM. Oh, hello, Pasha. He should be fine here. He's got, once again, Solo backing him up this time. They won't try and reinitiate, as they haven't quite got the firepower to do so.
Yeah, part of it was Pasha actually attempted the chains against the Tusk and missed it, so if they still had the chains, I think they could have turned and gone on to Ice, and who knows what happens from there, but missed opportunity perhaps for Vega.
Yeah, I mean, one thing whilst all this action is going on, and one person we haven't really talked about, burning on his gyrocopter, having a pretty good time in terms of the CS department. He's having a final lane up here. I mean, Mag's obviously been getting a bit at the lane as well, but he hasn't been able to do anything to stop burning from farming. 53 CS, 15 to 9. No one's getting caught out by a snowball. Nice side with the War's punch as well. Shards forward, but now the remnant 4 from Pasha. They want to try and turn with the slight searing change to catch out Ice. No one's going to be able to bottle up, and now Pasha just giving the Tusk to run down here with the Flame Guard will be able to find the kill, and that's going to put your Ember now on a killing spree. So even though the Gyro's farm may be better in terms of the CS, Pasha's had a lot more involvement in the action, and that's going to really show it on the borders. As we can see, Pasha's keeping up, and if not just ahead of the Gyro in terms of net worth.
Yeah, it's certainly going to show an experience, which is critically important for an Ember Spirit to get the maxed out chains as well as Flame Guard early on, because you have so much offensive power in that 15 to 20 minute marker. You can establish as much, if not sometimes more, control over the early game than a Gyro can. I mean, Gyro's kind of looked at as one of the most aggressive carries who can, like CDC, establish that early on into TI. What the gyrocopter can do when you rotate it out of the lane in 15 minutes and put it with the team, but something similar can be said about the Ember Spirit.
I mean, one kind of glaring issue though here for Vega is the fact that they haven't really been able to slow down that out too much. We've just seen him in the jungle. He's closing in on that relic gold at 9 minutes in. I mean, that's got to be an issue here, because you look at Vega's lineup. Yes, they've got the aggression, but say out gets what, 1 or 2 items online, he's going to be very hard to deal with.
I think it's going to be even worse because Mag, I don't think he's in any trouble here at the top lane. But I believe Burning will go... I don't know, I kind of feel like the Helmet Dominator build, I'm not a gigantic fan of it, but because the fact that you have both the Gyrocopter and the Alchemist that can farm up Ancients, I think in a certain regard, you need to get that extra bit of farm on the map, just because you have 2 relatively greedy heroes like this.
Burning, smoked up with FY, but now no one is shoving his fan. They're going to drop down the Winter's Curse straight away, and with the raise, he's bringing him low, but the Ancient Seal's there to stop the final one. Pasha comes in, remnanting forward. They'll get the 1 kill. The cooldown's there, but the Cold Embrace is enough to top no one back up. He's going to be fine, and now it's FY that's got to be on the retreat. They've lost Burning. They may lose more as well, but Fenrir moves in with a Shallow Grave. There'll be a TP in from Ice on the Tusk. Can he get there in time to help? There'll be the Snowball. He picks up FY, saves him, stops him from taking down the Flame Guard, and he's going to be fine. Ice saving FY there. Now no one turns forward with the raises, bringing Ice slow. Pasha looks for the change, won't connect. Splinter Blast flies through, but the heal from Fenrir is enough to keep Tusk safe. So they do lose Burning, but some nice play once again from Vici there to make sure they don't lose anything more off the back of Vega's aggression.
Another interesting thing is going to be the SF's builds. No one who's... Yeah. I want to re-emphasize the fact that I feel like he's probably one of the best, if not the best, SF in the European scene. He's actually going Morbid Mass, so no early mech. That's obviously going to be the Darkseer's job, most likely. And he instead can go for like an SNY build. I don't think you build the Morbid Mask in anything. I think it's just decent sustain early on that helps you keep up your... Oh no, he's actually going to go the full Helmet Dominator. Wow.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I thought just the Morbid Mask and then into the early SNY. Then again, the armor is really good from Helmet Dominator.
The dazzle and the out, yeah, it's true. Well, bottom lane, there's going to be Ancient Seal to set this one up. They close the gap with the Snowball and the Solo. I don't think he's going to be able to get himself out of this one, or maybe with the nighttime speed. Now, in comes the magical missiles of FY. And that will be able to bring down Solo. So they get themselves a kill on the bottom lane there. Vici, as we saw that out, as he actually got the recipe gold jet, and it was very close. So that is your Radiance now online, 11.5 minutes, not bad at all. There's actually a movement from Vega. It's unfortunate for them they weren't able to get him before he picks up the recipe, but nonetheless, they should be able to find the kill, and they do. No one will pick that up, so more money into the bank of the Shadow Fiend. So they are killing him. But he's got that Radiance timing, and we already know just from previous games how well Super's going to be able to use that to keep himself almost certainly on top of the net worth board, unless Vega can amp up this aggression to the next level, because no one's still sitting very close. 6.3k on your Shadow Fiend, it's not bad at all, and as you keep saying and praising, he knows exactly what he's doing on this hero.
What a dumb hero. How can you get a Radiance in 12 minutes and also die 3 times in 12 minutes. That just doesn't seem like it should be possible, but whatever. Super's able to pull it out thanks to, in part, some stacks. And now time is going to be kind of ticking for Vega Squadron. They're facing up against the Radiants, but the thing is, you can't let the Alchemist go full Naga Siren.
No.
That's the real danger, right?
If he gets a Manta and an Octarine.
Yeah, Manta, Boots of Travel, Octarine. That's when Alchemist is really dangerous, so... Vega Squadron got to keep up the pressure and they got to take down these towers, and that is slightly problematic because Vega Squadron, they don't have the greatest tower taking team in the world. They especially don't have very good high ground. The best high ground that they have is in the SF, but Ember Spirit is particularly bad at being aggressive and going for objectives.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the one thing we were looking at when it was the drafting stage, just the fact that this goes late, and Vici, as long as they can hold their base, it is indeed going to become just harder and harder for Vega to try and take it. But they continue to do what they need to. Be aggressive. They're looking to try and take the tier 1 mid. They've already found the 1 top. Should be able to get this. So Weave comes down. It's just Fenrir hanging in the sidelines. There is some backup moving in for Vici Gaming, but they're not going to be there in time to stop this. So Vega will find themselves another tower. And I do kind of like this as well from the Ember. A lot of Ember Spirits nowadays, we do see them just go for kind of the Aquila bots rush. You know, here Pasha's realised we're probably going to need to be a little bit more active, so he picks up the drums on the way. And that's exactly what you need to do when you're playing in a lineup like Vega against a team like Vici.
I do want to emphasize something, that Vega Squadron, while I think the impetus is on them to actually push and try and take objectives before the Alchemist gets too big, it is potential for them to go late game, but it has to be like super late game, where the Alchemist's gold advantage doesn't mean anything.
But
right?
Super's playing for Vici.
That's like...
You know, so I mean, in terms of super late game, Vici have got that covered with their out. I mean...
But yes, the super late game.
The super late game
isn't as strong once he gets 6 slot and he can't really do much with the Aghanim Scepter, because then you're facing up against an Ember Spirit and an SF, and I do believe those cores, if net worth is even, is stronger late game than the Vici Gaming one. But the big thing for me right now is whether or not Vici Gaming can establish tempo with the Tusk Skyreth Mage. I mean, we saw their duo already doing a lot of work, putting pressure on the Ember Spirit, getting the kill on the Night Stalker earlier, and that was pre-level 6 on the Skyreth Mage. Now that they have Mystic Flare, their burst potential is insane.
Yeah, and we can see them maybe go for something here on the bottom lane. They've got 3 heroes here trying to move in. Just Solo and Sherman here at the moment. And Burning backed up by both FY and Ice. On the top lane, you've just got Super, who's continuing to farm, pushing out the lane. What's he got coming out now on top of the Radiant? So he's got his bots as well now. So he is managing to get those key items online. Well, he's going to be a right little bugger when it comes to getting that farm efficiency across the map. In terms of Vega dealing with it, but Vega, now they've got the mech picked up here on Mag's Darkseer. So we very well may look to see them try and go for the fights. You're going to have no one working towards his S and Y on top of the helm. He's, as we've said earlier, keeping up very nicely with the farm of the Alchemist, being very efficient across the map, just 700 behind him. Which is not bad considering this man has had the Radiance now for a few minutes. But 8-5, 15.5 minutes in, it definitely still feels like it could go either way at this point. I don't think there's really any clear winner at the earlier stages.
Yeah, we're going to hit a very big peak for Vega Squadron here quite soon, and this is where they need to take the rest of the tier 2 towers and pick up Roshan. When the SF finishes up S and Y, and they may wait for BKB, though I'm not quite sure if that's perhaps too much, but they'll have the pretty statted up SF, and they'll also have a mech on Darkseer.
Okay, and I think VG themselves, they say, right, well, we want to kind of hit them before they really hit that peak of getting the BKB and the SF as well. And they're going to go straight in. Snowball onto Solo. He does get out the night time here with the burst with the Weave as well, the physical damage. Now the cooldown. Solo, cold embrace for Shum is not going to save him. And now the slow connects as the Wyvern as well. Vici, are they going to move for more here? Well, actually, they're preparing for Pasha. Remnants forward, trying to burst out Ferrer and will get it. Now with the Winter's Curse as well, they'll find Burning as well. It's a turnaround from Vega as they take down 2, and they should be able to get 3 as well here. Chasing down FY, no one closing the gap. He'll have a few raises in a minute, but he might be able to just do it with the right clicks here as he closes forward. There's the right click, there's the raise, beautifully calculated there by the SF, and they take a 3-for-1 off the back of Vici Gaming smoke, and that was not the smoke that they were looking for at all, Cap.
No, certainly not. The fact that they ran into one of the tougher heroes to kill very quickly, the Night Stalker is actually quite tanky because he's got a lot of physical armor, but then the Winter Wyvern was there as well.
Aggression. I mean, Pasha wants to try to go for it. There's going to be the... You know, we don't the smoke around. But look at this aggression from Vega. They popped the mech. Venra's got to run. This might in fact be a team wipe here, but where's Burning? No, he's not going to turn up. He says I'm out of this one. Venra will be able to get away. Now with TP actually coming in from FY, they might want to try and go back into this, but they've lost the tier 1. Vega is still pretty healthy, but it looks like they'll play it safe. They're back off. They don't want to get caught out by Vici's return there. But
what the hell happened? That wasn't a Battle Fury on the Ember Spirit. I mean, he has a good amount of damage. I almost feel like the wall spawned 2 different illusions. Like, I think maybe Ice like threw out his shards or something at the same time.
And it just exploded.
Yeah, so he ends up killing the illusions that the wall produces at first, and then once the illusion dies, right, then it does another tick. Right? It almost felt like something weird like that happened, where because they just took so much insane amount of damage in such a small period of time with that like vacuum raise and sleight of fist combo. But that was quite nasty, and boy, Vega Squadron, this game could be over in another like 10 minutes potentially. I don't think
look at the graph cap.
But
It's just it's, I mean, that was the pause. I'm guessing. I was going to say that can't quite be right, that flat line, but it certainly steered off quite violently towards the side of Vega after that fight. That was quite something, and this Ember Spirit, I've got to say, at the moment, you know, 5 kills, 4 assists, he hasn't died at all. Pasha's been playing this hero really nicely, and he's been pushing it to the limits as well.
Yeah, he's actually going to have a really fast Battle Fury, considering the fact that he has to go Manta first against a Skywrath Mage, if this keeps up. Normally, when you're forced into a Manta as an Ember Spirit, you're talking about like a 35, maybe even 40-minute Battle Fury. It's really late most of the time, because without the Battle Fury, obviously, you're super slow at farming. Much slower than you normally would be, but at the same time, the Manta is essential against these strong silences.
I mean,
this game's going really well for him.
It is. In terms of Burning, obviously, as the carry, he's not really been involved. He's not been involved across the map a lot. He's only been involved in 1 kill. He has died 2 times. I mean, he certainly hasn't had that kind of impact that we see a lot of other gyrocopters playing, you know, where they look for those mid-game fights and involvements. And in terms of playing the farm game as well, he is slipping behind here. So, I mean, what's the plan here for Burning in terms of kind of stepping it up? He's finished his S&Y, but I still feel he needs a fair bit of time really to be relevant and to be scary against the lineup of Vega when they come running at them. Yeah,
for sure. I think they do need a lot of time. For Burning to kind of catch up, for Super to establish his dominance as an alchemist via split push. But I almost feel like if we were watching, despite the fact that I feel like Vici Gaming is a better team, if it wasn't Vici Gaming, but CDC that were playing this, and they use the gyrocopter aggressively like they normally do, that CDC would be in a winning position against Vega Squadron in this exact sort of game. I think Vici Gaming are not playing correctly with their gyrocopter. Given the fact that Vega Squadron are very clearly meeting the Ice and FY aggression with just overwhelming numbers.
And they're going to try and go for it again. This didn't go well for Vici last time. Smoke's going to be the spot. They found the same target. It's Solo. Is the reaction going to be there for the rest of the time? It looks like it will be. Look at the Winter's Curse onto Ice. The Mystic found Solo. It's just not enough damage. This Night Stalker's too tanky. He'll try and walk it off. He gets himself out of the cooldown. Rocket Barrage isn't even enough to bring him down. There'll be the mech hit from Mag. Solo's going to be fine. So at least Vici Gaming don't lose anything in response. But again, it's a Smoke where they just don't find anything positive.
Yeah, despite the fact that Vega Squadron are actually in a pretty good setup there between the Cold Embrace and the Winter's Curse, no one really great discipline. He's like, he saw that, he washed his hands of it. He was like, I'm out. I'm not a part of this whatsoever. And that's fine. Like, if a 5-man smoke kills the Night Stalker, that's a 4-position Night Stalker, but you're getting push up in the top lane via your Ember Spirit and you're farming mid as your SF, that is a fine trade-off. But they don't even get the kill on the SF, or on the Night Stalker rather.
I mean, at the least they will find the tier 1 by the looks of it at the bottom. Yeah, Burning will be able to take some more money into his pocket. And what was that? Was that the... Oh, it was the Greaves recipe straight up. So Mag's now got Greaves at 21 minutes in. So these fights when Vici Gaming try and take them head on 5-on-5 on Vega, they're just going to be infinitely harder. And I appreciate what they've been trying to do with these smokes. They've realized that they can't really just fight when Vega look for the fights themselves. They've got to try and find these solo pickoffs and then try and make something off the, off the back of taking off 1 or 2 heroes away from Vega happening. But it's just not going to happen at this point. It's getting harder and harder for them. And they've really just got to rely on Super getting that farm and maybe being able to provide something in terms of just later game dominance. But with Vega's progression, it's going to be really hard to do so against.
Now that they've got the Manta style, they have the BKB, The Guardian Greaves on the Darkseer is obviously a big pickup. I actually want to mention something about the Guardian Greaves. Most of the time you see Mech into Blink Dagger, but here, because he's facing up against a Silence,
straight up,
it's better for you to have the Guardian Greaves on Darkseer.
Okay, Pasha moving in, he's found Ice. There'll be a very early shallow grave here, and they've got the Void to cancel this one, so Ice isn't getting himself out of there. He'll pop himself into a snowball, but it is only going to prolong the inevitable. He's going to go down, and they're moving in for more. They managed to pick up Fenrir as well on the Dazzle. And it's an unstoppable streak now for Pasha, and they'll probably get Roche off the back of this one as well. And Vici Gaming, 22 minutes in, it definitely feels like they're beginning to crumble against the CIS aggression.
Yeah, Pasha, I think actually had, I mean, it's something small, but he's had really great reads on targeting. First thing he knows, the Tusk is caught. I'm gonna target the ward, the Sigil, and take that out because it's really annoying. And then when he notices there's an extra hero, the Dazzle shows up from long distance. He goes, that's actually my next target. I'm gonna go for the Dazzle, get that extra kill, and my team can clean up the Tusk. He's targeting, he's been reading these team fights really well and hasn't been caught up in the immediacy of like getting that one kill. He always looks for more. And that's something that's really important on an Ember Spirit whose positioning in team fights is so key.
Oh, and look at this aggression. Pasha, he goes straight up to the high ground. He's been sealed up, and he's got the Manta, turns around with the Winter's Curse onto Ice for Shoma. They'll find themselves the Tusk. And now with the Greaves pop, Vega just stand there strong, and they hit away the tier 3s. Fortification will come out from Vici Gaming, but they're going to be having to fight without the Tusk for 30 seconds. The chains, they catch onto Fenrir and Burning, holding the back, and with the Splinter Blast as well, they're just forcing Vici Gaming back from this defense here. But now with how Super coming in, he drops the Acid Spray, starting to charge up a Concoction as well. He'll chuck it out to no one. Now with the cooldown, the Mystic Bat, but no one. He's going to be fine. He's been Glimmer Caved up here by Solo on the Night Stalker. Now just turn, and what? Burning? What are you going to do? He just can't fight up against this amount of damage. He has to get himself out of there. BKB is popped by no one. They're looking to commit, and now with the change onto Super, he gets out one more Concoction, but it's only onto the Illusion, and now the melee racks are down. They'll leave the range racks for the time being, but they found what they were looking for, Vega, and Vici just didn't have an answer or a way to stop that.
First melee racks down by 24 minutes, a very good sign for Vega Squadron. And again, they can still look for a little bit more aggression early on. They can still force more fights, take down the rest of these tier 2s. That's more gold on the map waiting essentially for Vega Squadron to claim. And they can probably push uphill for a second lane of racks because Vici Gaming still aren't ready to go with their stride. They just now got the Manta, but there's still no Octarine on the Alchemist. So you're talking about another 5 minutes at least where the Alchemist needs to farm, and Vega Squadron can take advantage of that fact.
And I mean, you're talking about the fact, like 22 minutes, the fact that Darkseer went for the straight up Greaves. Now he's got a blink as well after that fight. So this is a man with blink and Greaves. I mean, Vici Gaming have to be very, very smart about this one if they want to turn it around, because it's getting harder and harder for the side. That's
obviously going to combo exceptionally well with the Winter Wyvern, Winter's Curse, and then if you have a good hold like that, you're going to see potentially lots of damage coming out from our Ember Spirit, whose Battle Fury is not that far away.
Ice, just casually losing half of his health.
Oh, the Sage proc!
Oh, and now Pasha's there with a follow-up. He gets tagged in the seals there, but the Mad Star, now the Vacuum Wall gets onto 3, and Vici just have to get themselves the hell out, but they can't. They're going to be getting themselves out in caskets. 2 are dead, 3 are dead on the side of Vici Gaming. And again, some beautiful play from Vega there in the bottom lane. As you said, they get the Sange proc. That allows the Ember to close the gap, jump in, and then it's followed up by the Blink reveal from the Darkseer. And that couldn't have been a better Blink reveal if they'd wished for it. I mean, they get 3 heroes in it, they kill them all, and now they're potentially going to look to take a second set of melee racks.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything Vici. Oh my god, Super just stunned himself. He's dead.
Yeah, he is. Vacuum. Well, the walk of the vacuum comes.
I didn't know just nothing to say about that. Vici, you're just gone.
Yeah, that Vega. Vici are going to have to do something different game 2 for sure. I don't know if this Alchemist strat will work necessarily against this kind of aggression, as he's just not really. He's found the farm, but what's he been able to do to offer to the team when it comes to the need? And that FI's just getting bursted down. He'll drop down a Mystic Flare, but Solo says, hey, is it raining? Because the damage, it's just negligible at this point. Super gets outstunned. Maybe they can try and take, but the Cold Embrace is there on Solo. Solo's going to be fine. Now the damage from Pasha. Mag's there in the middle of it. 3 heroes down at the moment on the side of Vici, and GG's called. Vega do it 23-6 at 26 minutes in. There's no mercy from the Vega Squadron, and that was pretty much impeccable play there from the side. I don't think Vici knew what hit in that cap.
Go Vega. I mean, they They brought the strategy and the aggression that was needed to take on Vici Gaming.
Absolutely.
They gave no one a comfort hero. They established somewhat greedy support that Solo could, move around the map and do work with. And I think this is where Solo goes in 6.85. Rather than the split pushing Lina or Visage, he now plays like the